So our feature documentary, Adam Smith, Father of the Fringe, premieres on YouTube this weekend. And before it does, I just wanted to tell you the quick story of how it came about. It's a good story. And if you cast your mind back to the lockdown in 2020, there was suddenly a shortage of content on TV. And I said to my friend, the director Alex Webster, if we can produce something half decent and quickly, there might be an opportunity for us to break into the closed shop that is British television. And so we talked about various ideas, and the easiest one seemed to be to make a film based on this lecture that I'd given at the Edinburgh Festival the previous year. I gave the lecture at Panmure House in Edinburgh, which is Adam Smith's old house, and I gave the lecture in his front room, and it was all about how the philosophies of Adam Smith had manifested themselves in the economics of the Edinburgh Fringe. Now, you might say that's rather an esoteric subject, but it worked really well, audiences really liked it, and perhaps most importantly, the material was already written and we knew it worked. We could make a film about the history of the Fringe in the year it was cancelled. So in late July we went up there, and with the help of Caroline Howitt at Panmure House, we managed to get the entire film shot in 3 days. And then Ian, my manager, suggested we get some interviews with big name comedians, as this would make the film a bit more sexy to commissioners. And we thought, yeah, that's a good idea. But that put us back about probably nearly 2 months. Many of the comedians were busy. We had an interview scheduled with Jimmy Carr in 3 weeks' time, and then just before the interview, Jimmy had to go into quarantine for 2 weeks, and then because he'd been in quarantine for 2 weeks, when he came out of quarantine, he was really busy, and that all put us back. But eventually, by the early autumn, we had a decent first cut, and we started touting it about. And we just ran into this wave of no interest from commissioners, despite all the big names we had on board. Emails into the void, endless Zoom calls to nowhere with the BBC, and all the rest of it. And people kept giving me feedback, and I was like, I don't want feedback. I know it's good. I want a commission. So we needed about 20 grand to finish the film, to cover the costs of the music, the grading, the archive footage, that was the most expensive thing, and all the rest of it. And I didn't want to fork out the money if it was just going to end up on YouTube, because I'd already put so much into it. And so we hit a bit of a wall. And then early in the new year, I was driving, it was a cold winter's January evening, I was driving from Devon to London, and I pulled over at a service station, I checked my emails, and I got this email, and it read something like, hello, I hope you don't mind me messaging to you, my name's blah, 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 but I'm writing from hospital, and I've just had a near-death experience with COVID. I was 36 hours from death, according to the doctors. And while I was there, I stumbled across your YouTube channel, and I just wanted to write and thank you for all the joy and laughter that your songs brought me when I was so low and at death's door. And by the way, I'm a video games entrepreneur, and I'm worth 150 million quid. And he left his number. And so I phoned him up, and we chatted for nearly 2 hours. I was driving back, and one of the things he said is, if I ever need any help with anything, any projects, he'd be glad to help me out. And so I said, yes, well, we've got this film, but we need 20 grand to finish it. And he said, no problem. And the very next morning, the money was in my account. And so I guess there's a moral to the story for frustrated content creators. Even if you're not one of TV's lucky chosen few, if you put stuff out there and it's decent enough, good things can happen. And so that's the story of how Adam Smith, Father of the Fringe, came about. And I've not spoken to that video games entrepreneur. You know, he's got better and he's gone straight back to business, and we message each other occasionally, but he's pretty much disappeared. But it's still quite a powerful story with a moral to it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the film. Please subscribe to my channel, please smash up the likes, and I'll be back with another video very soon. In the meantime, goodbye.